So, as I promised you, there was another element to this national dialogue which I think is very important, and that element is the element of development. For the last 30 years, we have been talking about killing each other, destroying each other, bringing people under our control. We have been talking about ethnic conflict, unitary states. We have been talking about everything other than our national development. So I think we have to now focus on national development, and national development has got to become a very important element of the national dialogue. How are we going to do this? Now, I hope that this Ministry for National Dialogue has sufficient courage to generate a national dialogue on development right from the grassroots level. I say courage because one needs courage to activate the citizens of a country, because once the citizens of a country are activated, their expectations will grow and they will make demands. They will want to do certain things, and then you have to see how those things can be done. I have advocated from time to time, and in particularly in writing to the United National Party before these last elections, in anticipation that they would have a significant role in forming the new government. And I have explained the importance of setting in motion a process by which the citizens of this country can come forward with their plans for the development of the nation. How do we do this? We do this by initiating a process of discussion at the level of the village schools, where students who are preparing for their O-levels and A-levels present to the public their ideas as to what development is required in their regions. And they do not do this in a fantasy world. They do this in consultation with a panel of experts nominated by the nearest university, so that these experts help and guide them to shape their vision and to make it credible and to draw in all the required elements that need to be present and taken into account in a developmental program or a developmental plan. So these young students at a very early age are going to learn how to plan their development. And their plans are going to be presented on national television. And these presentations are going to be judged. And those who win are going to be given the title of Masters of Development Practice. And the projects that win will be implemented. And those who present the projects, those who have formulated the projects, will be employed to work on those projects right at the top, at the highest managerial level, along with all the experts who have helped them. And not only will they be employed, they will be given the opportunity to pursue higher studies at the universities locally initially, and those who excel will be given the opportunity to continue their studies in development practice abroad in the best universities of the world. Now, this has to be done for engineers and scientists as well. I will leave that to another program. But this particular program has the objective of generating a cadre of developmental practitioners. And that ties in with what I have told you before about the fourth pillar of the state. The fourth pillar, I told you, that goes along with the judiciary and the executive and the legislature. The fourth pillar that I call the developmental, and in relation to which I said we would have a commissioner for national development. So here are the people who will work in this National Development Commission and who will ensure that the developmental policies that are accepted by Parliament and the laws which are instituted in order to make sure that those development policies are realized, are implemented, are actually put into action at every level of the state. Now this is a part of the developmental process, and this is a part of the developmental dialogue that is very important, and it is very important because it will change the nation of this country. Just as thinking about autonomy and the autonomous regions and discussing this and will actually bring changes in the state and create a unique state, creating this cadre of developmental practitioners is what is going to really develop this country. And it is the responsibility of the Ministry for National Dialogue to make sure that this is something that is discussed, spoken about, and that this program is put in place and that these development practitioners emerge. So this Ministry for National Dialogue is not a joke. It's not something that's funny or unique or some eccentric function. It is a vital function, and it speaks much about the foresight of the leaders of this government, that they have decided to actually create a Ministry of National Dialogue. I will not comment about the Minister for National Dialogue. He's one of the most interesting people in the current cabinet, and maybe later on, at some point, as he begins to work on his ministry, I will tell you something about him, and I will tell you what we can expect from that remarkable character who has become the Minister for National Dialogue.